Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another live stream. Back to another live stream. Back
100 times?
to another live stream.
200 times?
Back
500 times?
Probably. Who is Jose Arteaga?
Jose Arteaga is a YouTube content creator with several channels focusing on different themes.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Thing sucks.
His main channels include travel vlogs and lifestyle content. On his travel channel, Jose Arteaga Travels.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Additionally, he runs a cooking channel and engages in other personal projects that highlight his diverse interests and expertise. Projects and expertise. Projects and expertise. Projects, project, 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 projects, expertise.
Sometimes you just gotta get back in the fucking game.
Coaches, staff, everyone, come forward to me, please. Vamonos, muchachos. Pull it in.
Hey, Steve, what are you doing? You're interrupting our practice.
Yeah, well, practice doesn't seem to be working, Coach. Come on, motherfuckers, get in here. I got a little announcement I want to make. I know a lot of you guys have seen me around town going, hey, there's Steve, the new... If this was America, you'd have a radar gun, and right now, it would read 101. When's the next game, Coach?
Friday.
See you dumb motherfuckers there. Where's the baseball card? It's worth $5. Take that with me. Trying to pocket it. Keep my fucking eye on you. All right, don't forget, my number's 55.
Oye, ¿qué carajos está pasando, güey?
I'm a real American.
The hell is this shit?
The glove. Bring my glove.
What's up, guys? Welcome
Come
back.
on, hurry up. Stop
Welcome.
for the second part of the show. Thank you. Get the flag. Pick the flag up. Come on, don't just let it lay there. It's disrespectful. Don't let it drag.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you guys are ready to have some fun and rock and roll. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Kenny Powers, know who he is, ever seen Eastbound and Down, ever seen that show before? Great show, awesome show, amazing show. And I remember watching that around the time I moved out here. And man, you know, that character definitely resonated a lot with me. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure, I think that's why a lot of people, you know, like, you know, a lot of shows out there, because in some shape, some shape, form or another, it reminds them of them or something about them or whatever it is. But anywho's, you know, welcome back, you know, to another live stream. Welcome back to all of you guys out there. We got Fresh, Fielder, Rob, Millard. We got Narud Jalouf. I met you finally. Shout out to you. Thanks for coming to visit out here to Mexico. Again, you know, my life as a D-list celebrity, you know, has sometimes advantages, sometimes no. We got Dark Wolf. We got and everybody else out there. So shout out to everyone in the chat and everybody just listening. Again, you know, some of you guys listen at your leisure. I've been noticing that a lot of you guys are listening a lot more on Spotify. So again, once we're done here, I always upload to Spotify, so you guys can listen for free, easier, you know, just podcast form. So it's a lot easier for you guys to, you know, listen to me talk about whatever, you know, whatever it is I'm discussing. And so today's video, in today's live stream, you know, we're talking about, well, my life as a Z-list celebrity. Look, I've often said this before. Sorry, my bra strap is showing, so I'm trying to. Anyways, hold on, where's that? There you go.
Bruh.
But look, I've always kind of been a little bit of a celebrity in my own mind, or at least in my own right, in one shape, form, or another. I mean, look. A brief history on me. When I was younger, you know, basically in high school, I had the grades and I had the ability to basically go to school for medical school, law school, all these things. I did not want to go into the medical field. I had scholarships, all that stuff, you know, but it's not what I wanted to do. That wasn't really the route I wanted to take. And so therefore, you know, during that whole time, you know, I was exposed to working in the restaurant industry. I was exposed to many things. Part of my family did, you know, videos and photography for weddings and parties and all that stuff. Again, back since the 80s and 90s. So every time I see that movie, The Wedding Singer, it always reminds me of well, my life at one point and how I lived at one point. But look, long story short, I you know, as I was what was I saying? I forgot. Oh yeah, so I was in high school, and during high school I was exposed to all these things, and the last thing I wanted to do was put on a suit and tie, or put on a lab coat. You know, I didn't want to work, you know, all these hours, you know, in a laboratory, or, you know, using my brain or whatever. I don't know. It wasn't something that I was kind of like looking forward to. Even though I had really good abilities, even in high school, I was on the debate team, I was on the law team thing, you know, I was in the honors AP classes. So we had all that, and I was, you know, like I always like to be the defender. You know, I always like to be not the prosecutor, but, you know, the defender. And you know, I was really good. You know, and I was really good on the debate team. I was really good on a bunch of things like that. But it's like, oh my God, you know, I hated school so much. And, you know, the whole idea of like being in school for, you know, another portion of my life, and you know, to go and do, I was like, I don't know, it was not something I really wanted to do. And along all that time, during all this time, I was working in the restaurant industry, and I was in the front of the house, working as a busboy, as a waiter, as a bar back, as a bartender, all these things. As I was, transitioning out of high school, from while I was in high school, but transitioning out, I was always working in that. And basically, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just make this my career? Why don't I just become a chef? This seems like a lot more fun. This seems like a lot more entertaining, more adventurous, something that's a lot more my style. And so I just went down that route. It was awesome. It was interesting. And during all this time, have you ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I kind of lived a life like that when I was in high school. I lived a life like that afterwards. It's just, I was the guy, and, the leader of the pack. We always were getting in trouble, doing all kinds of fun stuff. And so, with all that said, as I just gravitated towards the kitchen, obviously I kept, doing the same thing there. Always kind of found my ways towards leadership roles, and it was fun. It was enjoyable. I really, again, it was a lot of work. I wasn't like one of those chefs that was in the office all day. I was rarely in the office. If I had a clipboard, it was, while I was cooking, but anyways, I was a working chef. I was in there to make things work, to make things happen. And so, during that time of as I was becoming a cook, a chef, again, I was already out of high school, and everyone's trying to find their identity. But anyways, long story short, I quickly realized, very quickly, all right, just being a cook, just being a lowly cook, all right, that I would get a lot more attention from the ladies. I would get a lot more attention from everybody, really, in a good way. And then it was awesome because it was like, um, when you were like a lawyer or doctor, or I don't know, any other one of these things, man, it wasn't like you were cool. It wasn't like you were a celebrity or anything. It was like, oh yeah, look, there comes Jose the doctor. Oh my God, da, da, da. Maybe I'll ask him a question about the boil I have on my back. Or if you're a lawyer, like, oh, there's Jose. I haven't seen him in forever. He's always working. Da, da, da. Oh, but you know what? I got a question I want to ask him about, that my neighbor, and I want to know if I can sue him or not. What, what I mean? There's just, and I can go on and on. And those are just cool jobs. You can go outside of that. You're an optometrist. How cool is that? Not cool. Anyways, long story short, being a cook, being a chef, very fucking cool. And it was very apparent to me because, right off the bat, I was already wearing like my chef coat, chef uniform, and all this other stuff. And I already saw the attention I was getting, usually very good. I mean, I would get pulled over by the cops, and the cops would, basically they saw me, I had a conversation, I was coherent, and they would just basically kind of, most of the time, always let me go. I really never had a bad experience with cops until the Texas thing. But anyways, long story short, in Miami, it was like they respected me. They saw me in uniform like I was, like, saw them in uniform. That kind of stuff. And so, the ladies, they loved it. They're like, oh my God, he's a chef, he's a cook, oh my God. And so I was obviously, on top of me being able to cook, and, being very, aggressive, a male, whatever. I was also very charismatic. And so the combination was basically lethal. So even though, again, I've already talked about it in previous live streams, as to when I was fat, weighed almost 300 pounds, like around 280 something, 290 was my top. And that was fucking disgusting. All right. And yet, with my charisma and with my my ability to cook and things like that, and other abilities that I had, because I, worked in the kitchen, was from the hood, was able to get whatever, do whatever, make anything happen. Yeah, long story short, I had the ladies. I loved, everything was great. Now, I was a good boyfriend. I usually only had like a couple girlfriends, steady girlfriends. But are you kidding me? It was hilarious, because I would be out with my girlfriend, or we were whatever, and how the girls would just, kind of throw themselves at me in a sense, and it was, or in the kitchens or whatever, and it was hilarious. And so I was already kind of I was already used to kind of that a little bit. In fact, that's why I did that, because I was like, well, no matter what I do, everyone here's a broke bum, working their ass off, and no one is applauding, what they do for a living. No one cares what they do for a living or how well they live their life. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff. So to me, it's like, you know what? at least, my job is very hard. I love it very much, but man, you know what I mean? I'm already like a little mini celebrity. Everybody just loves the fact that I'm a chef and I'm the coolest guy just coming in, in any room, any party, any gathering. And on top of that, with my charisma, once, I was already like in the door, but once I was able to, blossom, just whatever, because they gave me the floor, oh, forget about it. It was awesome. So I was already like a little mini celebrity. I was always a cool guy. I was always that. And I knew this because, again, it's like, think about it. I thought, hey, I'll be a cook, I'll be a chef, and I'll be making a lot of money. But, really quickly I found out, and throughout my whole career, I found out that I wasn't making nothing. I was bottom rung. A garbage man literally made more money and had more benefits than me. But Garbage Man was not a celebrity, I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? But I was. And so for me, I would just always kind of hang that, on that's what I was going with. I was just like, well, whatever. You know what I mean? At the very least, it's I got a cool job, I got an awesome career. People think I'm awesome, yada yada yada. But by the way, I gotta make that a t-shirt. I know someone's suggesting that. But hey man, I don't know what my bra strap keeps showing. It's so annoying. All right, geez, because I keep seeing myself there. It's not my bra strap. It's just my my wife beater. I'm just trying to keep it together here, trying to be civil. I got a t-shirt on. I'm usually just out here in my 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 wife beater. What are those things called again? I don't have another name, politically correct name. But anywho's, as I was saying, I was already like enjoying the benefits of that. And so obviously I knew eventually when I wasn't making money, no matter how much of a chef I became, I realized, you know what, I got to start my own business. And I was very successful, until I wasn't, basically 2008, the crash was not good to me and other things, other factors. But anyways, while I was starting my own business, it was awesome. Because again, I used that ability to be charismatic, the mini celebrity aspect of myself, and the connection that I had made throughout the years to basically blossom a small something into something big. And yeah, I mean, so I was doing that, so I was enjoying that. That's why I loved what I did. But eventually, as I got into my early 30s, I was like, man, I can't do this forever. My body's falling apart, from all the drugs, the partying, the unhealthy lifestyle. Again, the hard work, because it was a lot of work, it was more than 40 hours minimum. And, most of the time, 60 hours a week. And not only 60 hours a week, but on top of that, hard work, like grueling work. It wasn't like sitting at a desk, like, hard work. And it was fine. But again, eventually that breaks down your body. As much as you want to keep playing football, eventually your body says we're done. And so that was coming up. All these things were coming up. So I was like, man, what am I going to do? Long story short, again, you guys can watch my other videos of when I, on this channel, when I talk about when I lived in Seattle and all this other stuff. So eventually I moved to Seattle and I started another career, started doing other things. I didn't like that either. And eventually I found my way on YouTube. And right off the bat, it was many years ago, 10 years ago to be exact. It was not, I was making videos, videos that were very, edited and very, again, you know what, from the intro, all that stuff from the intro is from the very beginning, like 10 years old. All that footage is 10 years old. But anyway, so I was doing good, that kind of stuff right off the bat. But I wasn't getting views. I was definitely not making money, nothing like that. But I was like, you know what? Hey, I can start doing this and I can start grinding at this, because at the end of the day, what is it that I want? Well, kind of like the same thing that I had by working in the kitchen. I just wanted to get it an easier way. So then that's what I just started doing that. Now, for the longest time, I was doing videos and nobody would watch my videos for years. And it wasn't until many years later, around the end of 2017, and I started to talk about conspiracies. I started talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because that's what I was into at the time. And I was going all out on that. And all of a sudden, I started getting like a couple views, 100 views, a couple hundred over here. I started getting comments. I started getting people that wanted to, I was in LA, people that wanted to meet up. I started making connections. I was like, oh my God, this is pretty awesome. And then I started to really kind of become a little mini celebrity. Now, of course, it was still nothing. And it was still more like, again, I compared my, at least I knew, when I was a chef, I was like, okay, I get it. I like maybe being an athlete. It's like, okay, I get it as to why people might be a fan or look at me with that celebrity kind of like mindset. Again, Z list, not even Z list. We're in another alphabet. We're so far away. Celebrity, right? Z list celebrity. But what I was gonna say was the fact that I was what was I saying? Oh yeah. Kind of like that same thing. My mind was like, well, you know what? This is something that not many people can do. Not many people can hit a baseball. Not many people can play football. Not many people can work in a kitchen. Trust me. Throughout my years, I've seen thousands of people go through the kitchen. People are like, oh, hey, I used to be an accountant, but I did this, for 10 years and I'm 31 now and I'm going to work in a kitchen. And yeah, they would last 3 hours before they went back to accounting, or whatever it was, so I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Or even people in their early 20s. I mean, fuck, man, even people that came out of the military and they're going to hang in the kitchen. That's how I knew, when I would see people from the military that served in Afghanistan or whatever, and they would come in my kitchen and they would be huffing and puffing. They'd be like, get me out of here. And I was like, really? Get you out of here? Shit. Come on. This is worse than Afghanistan. This is worse than Afghanistan. Anyway, so that's what my mindset was. Bruh. Anyways, so congratulations. You played yourself, right? So that was my mindset. It's like, fuck, man. What do you mean this is worse than Afghanistan? Anyways, so yeah, I mean, but I took pride in that. I eventually, obviously, throughout the whole time, I was like, I took pride in it. I knew it was like, it was, again, I wasn't making money, but the rewards when it came to the quality of life in the sense is like, I was a little mini celebrity. I was cool. I was whatever, all this stuff. It was like, all right, it was awesome. But it's like, again, it was different because it was just like a celebrity as a chef, as a cook. It was like a little kind of different, whatever. And back then, again, I'm like beyond nobody. I'm a nobody. So the fact that people would even care, it was awesome. All right. Even though eventually I got annoyed with everybody wanting me to, teach them to cook or give them a recipe or give them that or whatever. I know, us humans, right? We're horrible. Long story short, once I found myself, again, making videos on YouTube and I started getting a little bit of a tiny bit of an audience, just talking about those other things, not the Mexico stuff, just shit like what I'm talking about here. Not even what I'm talking about here. Like I said, other, Bitcoin conspiracy, whatever related stuff, which by the way, all came true. Wow. Insane in the membrane. That's right. But then at that point, I was like, oh, wow, this is actually pretty cool. Because it was just like, hey, can you come to the crypto meetup? And I was like, oh, wow. And then I would go to the crypto meetup, while I was basically almost living out of my car. And I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. I was like, man, I can't afford to have this dinner or drinks, and this was free invitation type of thing. So many little things like that. And I was like, oh, wow, these people that are this powerful and this awesome think I'm cool. And they don't really know I'm a bum. Or maybe they do. I don't know. And it was just things like that. I would be going to art galleries. I would be going to, all these things. I was like, oh, fuck, this is pretty awesome. But again, still, I was like a fucking nobody. I felt like a fake. I felt like an imposter. I'm like, man, why am I popular or famous? I don't get it. You know what I mean? I'm just doing some stupid videos ranting about some bullshit. Whatever. But then again, eventually, once I moved to Mexico, okay, once I was out here in Mexico, and I started talking and living about, I started making videos and talking about living out here in Mexico and doing all that. Eventually, again, that audience started to grow. It was tiny, a couple people, 100 people, 1,000 people, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually, people would hit me up and be like, hey, Jose, I'm going to be out in Merida and you're awesome. And I think you're cool. And I love your videos and I love whatever. And they're like, hey, man, I would love to meet you. And to me, I was like, meet me? You want to meet me? And they'll be like, yeah, man. In fact, I'll buy you tacos and a beer. And I'm like, really? I'm broke. I'm like, man, I can go for some tacos. I can go for a beer. Huh. All right, whatever. Yeah, man, it's great. Let's meet up. Whatever. Meet up with some random stranger. And, I'm a fucking celebrity, but I'm not a celebrity. Who the fuck am I, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. Free tacos, free beer. I got to make somebody's day. It was pretty cool. He made my day. Wonderful. Be walking down the street randomly. Someone like, hey, are you Jose from YouTube? Yeah. Oh, wow, can I, take a picture? Oh, yeah, you want to take a picture of me? It's fucking awesome. All right, whatever. So this kind of, kept ballooning. In fact, people would be like, hey, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? Whatever. Okay, yes. But eventually, what happened was that the videos, kept coming, the channel kept growing. We're about to hit 30,000 subscribers, which again, that's nothing. What the hell, 30,000? I mean, come on. You see some of these kids with like TikToks, whatever, they got like millions, whatever, right? So anyways, I get, I'm like almost at 30,000, which is like nothing really, in retrospect. But that's a lot of fucking people. When I look at my numbers, I'm like, how many people have seen my videos? Millions of people. I was like, oh shit. And it's to a point where, I get people that hit me up all the time. Like, hey, you want to have a beer? You want to have a taco? You want to have and I'm like, I know, I don't want to meet you. I don't want to anything. You know what I mean? Like, look, fuck, I'll put it out there. Narud Jaloof, came out here recently. And, he asked me to, hey, I want to meet you. I want to this. With him, it's different. This guy's been following me when I had like 2 subscribers. When I was doing experimental shit, when I was like cooking in my kitchen. So it's like, man, I kind of feel like a duty. I got to go see this guy. I got to meet him. I got to say hi. You kidding me? It's like almost like an honor in a sense. Like, fuck, this guy's been following me this fucking long. That's crazy. That's awesome. I want to meet him. I want to see what he looks like. I don't know what he fucking looks like, that kind of shit. And so like that. But when people say, hey, I've been watching you for a few months or a year and I want to buy you a beer. And it's like, man, I don't know. It's like, fuck, how many people I got like that already? It's like, I don't got the time. I don't got the this. I don't got the whatever. And, I started to realize, again, what I had already known was that I'm more of a curmudgeon. As much of an extrovert as I am, as charismatic as I am, I'm very much an introvert. Again, let's go back to the beginning of the story. I told you guys, I started off, in the front of the house when I was in the restaurant. So what is the front of the house? I was a waiter, busboy, bar back, bartender, all that shit in the front. And why? Because, well, I could talk. I was charismatic. I could kind of do all that shit. But eventually I found my way to the kitchen. Again, you can watch my other previous videos talking about the whole thing. But anyways, I eventually found my way into the kitchens. And when I was in the kitchens, I realized, oh, this is where I want to be. Because I was already growing tired of people. Fuck, man. It was just so many people, so needy, so many things. So at least in my mind, all right? I know everybody's different. It was just too much for me. And so, once I made it into the kitchen, I was like, oh, this is fucking great. I don't have to deal with people. The only people I deal with are, my crew, my band of brothers. It's a pirate ship, that kind of mentality, that kind of scenario, that kind of situation. So it's like, oh, this is great. I feel at home here. Just me and a couple other crazy guys, high on drugs, amphetamines, alcohol, life, whatever. And we're out here, in this shit together, suffering together, doing this together, so it's like, yeah, whatever. And it like when I was living that life, it was always like, I had like a mentality. We all had a mentality, like we lived, a different life, like everyone else was a civilian and we weren't civilians, we were the forgotten, the fucking, we worked when everybody else was having fun. Okay, that kind of shit, you know what I mean? So, no matter the holiday, no matter the fun event, no matter what, that's when we would work. That's when we did our thing. And we knew that a lot of all that relied on us. But at the end of the day, we had the most fun. We got the most drunk. We did the most drugs. We took pride in that kind of lifestyle, of like, we're gonna work like 12 hours. All right. We're gonna, by the way, don't forget to hit the likes and all that. Thank you, YouTube algorithm, AI thing. But anyways, work 12 hours. All right. Hard labor, then, barely, then go get drunk or, high or all the above. Then, go and, get something to eat, rest up, shower, whatever, wake up, do it again, wake up, do it again. And it's like, come on, we wouldn't hear people that would come to the restaurant, and they would basically work a 9 to 5 job at the office. Oh my God, the phones are killing me. Oh my God, it's so crazy. And then, they could barely hang one night of going to the club on Friday night or Saturday. It's like, come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I mean, again, we would work those hours and, again, we would sometimes need, help of, drugs in order for us to make it through the night because, we would just keep partying through the night, go to the strip club, go to this, do that, whatever. And, wake up the next morning if we got even any kind of sleep at all. All right. And and we're slinging, we're working, we're doing physical hard labor. We're serving brunch, while you're drinking your mimosas out there, barely hanging. Say we're barely hanging back there and we're doing so it was just like it was very easy to separate, and so obviously that's my mentality. And then obviously as I've gone through everything here, this is the reality. I've talked about this in multiple degrees in many of my videos throughout the years. But anyways, so obviously, as I've been here, through the years, and yes, it was difficult. Yes, I've gone through, difficulty. I'm trying to help you guys. I'm trying to this, but I realize, there's a lot of people out there that just cannot hang. I don't know what to say, and I realize, it's like I can't help everybody, and so it's kind of crazy because, like, it's like I'm a mini celebrity, but it's almost now it's turned into something else. That's why I don't like being a celebrity. It's like it's one of the things that I don't like about what I do. All right, is the fact that I have to be a celebrity, and this is just Z-list celebrity. Okay, or whatever's is there a letter after Z? That's the celebrity I am. I'm the letter after Z. I'm whatever. I'm another alphabet, another planet, another language, whatever. But and it's like it's too much for me already. I mean, I can deal with it because again, my life in the kitchen, my hard life. I mean, you know how I deal with trolls, you know how I deal with comments. I go hard in the fucking paint. Me, it's like whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm here telling jokes and then people that attack me, I'm like, they want to get roasted. I'm like, all right, let's go. Are you kidding me? I'm a professional cook, you know? You want me to roast you? Let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? Anywho's. So it is all an enjoyment for me in that sense. And the fact that, I play the bad guy. I'm the nicest guy in the fucking world. But, a lot of people look at me or consider me like the bad guy. Why? Because he's not nice. And he says, he speaks the way he speaks and he says the way he's things to say. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I love everybody. I'm all about kumbaya. I'm all about smoking the peace pipe. I'm all about love. All right. I'm all about, like I said, keeping it all together with everybody. But it's like, yeah, don't give me any of that shit, man. Come on, get your fucking violin and get the shit out of here. Don't be giving me that crap. Like you're insensitive. Listen, yes, I am. But that's because of like where I come from. And, I know that that's not going to kill anybody. It's just going to make you tougher. And that's it. Yes, of course, I've softened up. I'm nicer as I get older, yada, yada, yada. But it's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, so to me, it's like, as I started to meet many people, many, many, many people, and I realized that the majority of the people were like, basically almost helpless. I was like, oof, I don't want to meet anybody, man. It's like, and then on top of that, because they come to me, and it's like, it's not even about like, hey, hi, how's it going? No, it's like, hey, how's it going? I got 100 questions. Like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you want to ask me questions? Pay me for a consultation. Oh, it's too cheap. You're too cheap? That's fine. But what gives you the fucking right to do it now? Look, sometimes I've been out to dinner with my wife. I'm out to dinner with my wife. Again, I'm a Z-list fucking non-celebrity. I'm out with my wife having dinner, and I'll have fucking somebody come over and, hey, how's it going? I know you from YouTube. Duh, 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 duh. Hey, can I buy you a drink? You mind if I sit with you guys? And he just pulls up the chair and sits down. I'm like, hey, I do mind. Can't you see I'm having dinner with my wife? What are you doing? Say, hey, what are you going to be that way? Hey, this guy's an asshole. I'm like, yeah, I am a fucking asshole. Get the fuck out of here. How dare you? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, if I can't imagine if I get, as I grow, everything because I love what I do, man. I love making videos. I love the live streams. I love all this shit. And I love talking about this stuff because I know a lot of people don't talk about this shit. You know what I mean? And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. And it's weird because there's actually a thing, about, okay, there's a thing called parasocial relationships. And what is a parasocial relationship? Basically, all of you motherfuckers out there, you have a relationship with me. A lot of you, not everybody. Some people just listen to me, whatever. And by the way, I have this with other people I listen to in a weird way, but not really. Again, there's various degrees of this. Once you listen to what I'm about to say, you will know where you fit on this. Hopefully you do, if you're aware enough. But anyways, long story short, a parasocial relationship, what does that mean? I don't know anybody. I might be talking to 1,000 people live. I don't know anyone in the fucking audience that's listening to me. Period. End of story. But you guys know me. You know my story. In fact, some of you guys, like Naru Jaloof, I mean, fuck, you've been following me for years. You know a lot about me and my life and my story and my everything. So in a weird way, in your head, you're a friend with me. You know me personally. And I don't know who you are. And so some people, again, when I met Naruto, it was cool as fuck, you know what I mean? Because, hey, it was like meeting a normal guy, in the sense of like, he understood that, but a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't fucking get it. And it's fucking weird, man. It really is weird, because again, I know for a lot of you guys out there, it's pretty easy to understand. Maybe you might not get it right off the bat. Oh shit, there he is, whatever. And then I'm like, hey, I don't know who you are. Who are you? Like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, hey, my name is Becky. Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Yeah, we watch you all the time. Okay, great. But some people just don't fucking get it. And some people even get fucking mad. I mean, bro, I've had it where people have gotten mad saying, oh, you don't know who I am? Like, how the fuck would I know who you are? And they're like, oh, I'm Goldfish from online. I'm like, okay, hi, whatever. Man, I'm telling you, it is fucking crazy. It is kind of crazy. It's hard to even talk about this shit. And I mean, not hard to talk about. It's just kind of crazy to talk about in a sense, because it's like, I can't believe that these things happen. And so it's, going back to like now my life as a Z-list celebrity, I think I've talked about this enough throughout the years in my other videos on my other channel, to the point where, people don't reach out to me as much. Again, the newer viewers, subscribers, whatever, they don't know, so whatever. So they, a lot of them, they still treat me like this. So I'm kind of like, I'm not like in the sense of like, I give them more, benefit of the doubt. I give them space, I give like the whatever. But anyways, long story short, I deal with, celebrityism very differently these days as I did before. Like I said, when I first used to get people that hit me up, I want to meet you. Hey, I want to say, I want to buy you beer, taco. To me, it was like, come on, think about it. I was out here in Mexico. I was lonely. I didn't have, a girlfriend. I didn't have anything like that. I needed fucking money. Obviously they weren't going to pay me, what I wasn't asking for money to meet me. But I was definitely, they were offering to buy me tacos and beer. And I was like, fuck, I can't afford tacos and beer. I'm usually just eating eggs, what is it, like scrambled eggs and a can of beans, and just trying to fucking survive. And all of a sudden somebody wants to buy me some tacos and whatever. All right, great, this is fucking awesome. But again, like I said, it got to the point where, and I didn't mind sharing, all kinds of information, all kinds of things. But like I said, eventually it got to the point where, people just really started to take advantage of that, or people just were still not aware of that. Like, fuck, I don't got time to meet you. I don't, I really just don't got time to meet you. I'm good now. I'm okay. I'm not broken. I'm not that broke that I can't buy my own taco or beer. And it's just kind of interesting, but anyways, and some people get it, some people don't, you know what I mean? I mean, some people really get upset when, they say, hey, they're coming to Mexico and they want to meet me, and they get upset when I say I can't, or I don't want to. I mean, it's just, I gotta always make up some bullshit, like I can't because blah, blah, blah. Some random fucking person I never fucking met, asking me, giving me the whole fucking life story. Like, bro, what? I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. It really is weird, because it's like, I don't know. The thing is, it's like, I don't get it, because like, I look, I watch YouTube, I watch movies, I watch whatever. Obviously, there's people I would, like, for example, I would love to have a beer with Tom Brady. I would love to have a beer with, many people out there, but nothing would ever in a million years ever possess me, to ask any one of these motherfuckers, hey, you want to have a beer? Hey, can I buy you dinner? Can I buy you whatever? No matter how rich or famous I was, let's say I could afford to like, hey, Tom Brady, how much do you charge for dinner? $1 million? Yeah, sure, I'll fucking pay it. Whatever you want to, like I could never. Now, if all of a sudden, somehow, some way, I befriended Tom Brady, and all of a sudden, organically, we were to have a beer, have some fucking hamburger, that'd be fucking amazing. I'd be like, motherfucker, I can't believe I'm having a fucking hamburger with Tom Brady. But at the same time, Tom Brady, man, I can't believe I'm fucking having a hamburger with Jose Arteaga. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just weird. It's just different. Like that is okay. But I don't know. I can never in a million years. Like, again, look, let's say I were to see Tom Brady walking down the street. I still wouldn't have the balls to even say, can I take a picture with you? As much as I would love to have a fucking picture with Tom Brady. It's like, I can't invade the guy's personal fucking space. Even though he's in public, he's in whatever. But all I'm saying is that I've met people, and I'm sure all these mega celebrities have met people that don't meet me. And then it's like, I owe them a picture. It's like, they're like, Jose, how dare you not allow me to sit here with you and have a beer with you? How dare you not let me take a picture of you? How dare you? Whatever. I mean, to me, I'm like a Z-list celebrity. So you want to take a picture? I'll take a fucking picture. I don't give a fuck about taking a picture. You know what I mean? But think about it. You know what I mean? Like when you're an A-list, celebrity, it's like everyone wants a fucking picture with you. But it's like how people don't understand, like, the boundaries, or I don't know, man. It's just, to me, the whole thing is just weird. The whole celebrityism thing is very weird, and it's something I just, I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to. I mean, most people don't get used to it. Like, again, like I said, I've made more peace with it. By the way, shout out to Henry for the $2 super chat. I see you out there, man. Sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt mine. But anyways, long story short, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'll never understand. I'm grateful, for the people that think I'm cool, want to meet me, want to take a picture with me, whatever the fuck, but I don't know. I'll never get it. Like, but to me, like I said, yeah, I made more peace with it. I'm more easygoing these days. Look, when I see people on the street and they want to take a picture with me, they want to meet me, that's cool, man. That's all great. That's all wonderful. I don't mind. That's cool. That's really cool. I actually, it's like, oh wow, I'm honored. That's really cool. Whatever. But the thing is like, yeah, when people just hit me up, out of the blue. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, motherfucker. You know what I mean? If you know me enough, you already know that I'm going to charge you to meet up or for anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, just because I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking time out of my day. I got to make videos. I got fucking work, man. I'm not just on vacation. I'm working. I'm working. This is work. I'm working. I got videos to edit. I got shit to do. I got thumbnails to fucking make. I got the hell, man. I think it's fucking easy. I love to do it. I love what I do, but it's like it takes up a lot of my time, and that's the thing, Like I enjoy the fact that it takes up a lot of my time because it also gives me a great excuse to not be able to meet up with people. But that's the thing. It's just like to me, it's just like when I talk to people, it's like this. When people tell me, it's like, oh, Jose, you've helped me so much. You've changed my life. You helped me with this. You helped me with that. That's great. That's wonderful, man. It makes me happy to hear that. It really does. I mean, like, fuck, I'm glad that I was able to help you. Even though, really, I'm just teaching you how to help yourself. But whatever. But to me, it's like the whole thing. It's like, man, if you really, really are that thankful and that grateful and that whatever, all right? And you want to repay me, well, just send me some fucking money. I know it sounds kind of cold or whatever, but just send me some money. It's like, but no, a lot of people are like, no, I don't want to just send you money. I want to get something back in return for money. So let's go out to dinner. I'll spend the money there. But like, no, motherfucker, because now it's costing me time and costing me this. No, it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't ask for shit, but it's like, I mean, if you're thankful and you're grateful, just do like Henry or do like everybody else. Just send me a couple bucks. I never ask for shit. You don't got to send me shit, but it's like, come on, man. If you really care that fucking much, you would just do that. No one's asking you to care. Fuck, man. But that's the thing. It's like all these people that's what pissed me off. Like the more people I meet, the more I fucking love my dog and my fucking horse. I mean, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, it's like I already dislike people as it was when I was just a fucking cook. Imagine now when I have to encounter people on a regular basis. All the fucking time. And now, continuing on to where I live. I live in Mérida, Yucatan. and my videos and everything I do is about living out here. And so imagine now how the celebrityism, it's like worse. Because, like, for example, if I go to anywhere else in the world, nobody fucking knows who I am. Nobody gives a fuck who I am. Like, they don't know, who is this guy? What does he want? What does he have a fucking camera? He looks annoying as fuck. Anyways, but out here in this city, I can fucking recognize all the fucking time. It's like, fuck, man. You know? Makes you almost like a hermit sometimes. But whatever. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is a reality. I mean, you know, that's one thing I like about traveling is like it's very, by the way, and it happens. You know, I was in Guadalajara, I was in Oaxaca. When I went to Oaxaca, I had like a few thousand subscribers, and I had a few people, you know, like, oh my God, you're Jose, how's it going? By the way, when I see people that know me in other places outside of Merida, I like that. I love that. That's actually pretty fucking cool. You know, someone, you know, when I'm visiting elsewhere. But out here at this point, it's also cool. In fact, you know what was really cool the other day? Walking my dogs and some Mexicans recognized me. That was really cool. I enjoy that. You know, that's pretty awesome. But I think it's just because, you know, before, I think now I'm starting to warm up to meeting people again, seeing people again, you know, not being bothered by that. But I think it was like at the beginning when I started to meet a lot of people, you know, just for free, but just started meeting and meeting and meeting. And I started to realize, man, most of these fucking people are leeches. They're fucking horrible people. They're fucking shitty. You know, they're assholes. You know, they're all these. And I'm like, bro, this is fucking horrible. I don't want to meet anyone anymore. You know, not everybody, you know, there's a lot of awesome people out there. But man, you know, that's the thing. Like, one thing that has exposed me to is, like, you know, meeting more people. And it's just the craziest thing. You know, again, I meet people all the time, and you know, they'll talk to me or they'll email me, you know, with all this like business opportunity shit, like they're trying to do me a favor. I'm like, motherfucker, you're not trying to do me no favors. You're trying to fucking, you know, leech off of me or do shit, you know, like take advantage of me. And it's like, man, the thing is, it's like what I love about my life. You know, I have a lot of things that I love about my life. I lived a very hard life. I've done, you know, been through a lot of hard shit. But again, because of that, you know, it's prepared me for all this shit. And, you know, again, my life, you know, as a teenager, you know, all the things that I had to go through, working in the kitchens, you know, dealing with all kinds of shady people all the time, you know, whether it was other people that I worked with, you know, people that would sell me shit, all kinds of people in the industry, right? And just having to deal with all that shit all the time. It's like, man, when people reach out to me now with their bullshit, it's like I smell them like a mile away, and that shit fucking pisses me the fuck off, man. Because it's like, bro, who the fuck do you think you're talking to, bro? You think I'm just some dumbass YouTuber? Probably you do, because you don't know me, you don't know my story, you don't know my background. But it's like, man, you know, so many people, it is crazy, you know, how many people want to, you know, take advantage, how many people want to leech off, you know, you, how many people want to latch onto you, how many people, you know, they reach out to you, in a sense of like, hey, I'm doing you a favor, you know, I'm helping you out. How dare you? You know what I mean? Like, you know, refuse, you know, this and that from me. And I'm like, bro, you're not offering me jack shit. Okay, everything I'm seeing from your proposal or whatever the fuck you're sending me here is, you know, shit that you're gonna gain from. How the fuck am I gonna get anything out of this? Oh, I get to help you out. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck off, man. Fuck you. You know what? Because it's like, I'm not. Look, I'm again. People that watch you from my other channel know me long enough. It's like I help. That's all I do. All I do is help people. But again, I help people by showing you how to help your fucking self. And that's the thing. If you're, you know, someone out there, all right, that knows how to make it happen, all right, all you need to know is the direction, the information, and you figure it out, you do it, you make it happen. All you need is the instruction booklet, the blueprint, and you can do it yourself. Listen, I'm here to help you, all right, get to where you need to get to. That's all I'm about, all right? And it's not just Mexico shit, all kinds of shit, all right? I loved that. When I was in the kitchens, I loved, you know, teaching people, watching them grow, watching them surpass me. I loved that. I was, like I said, when I've said it many times, To me, it's like in another world or another life, I would have been a teacher, a professor, whatever. I kind of am that now. You know what I mean? That's when I thought I was like going to retire from the culinary industry. I thought I was just going to be a chef instructor. I mean, that's what I did. That's what I love to do. So to me, it's like that. But I'm a hard motherfucker. You know, I'm military style. So it's like I'm not here. You know, I don't want no crybabies. I'm not here to fucking hold anybody's hand or none of that shit. I'm here to teach hard motherfuckers out there to stay hard. All right. Anyone out there that knows how to grind, that knows what they want, that knows that, listen, you guys, I got you. I got you. But that's it. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing. And I've met so many people, you know, whether online or in person, that are just fucking, you know, not that at all. And it's like, I can't deal with that shit because I couldn't deal with that ever before. Again, remember when I was in the kitchen and working in that world, I was living in that world, and how I viewed the world and how I viewed everybody else outside of that world, which was the rest of the population of Earth. And again, people that have been through hard shit, maybe military people, you know, if you're ex-military, been in the military, you think the same way, you know, meaning you got the civilians and you got everybody else. I'm sorry, you got the, you know, the military, and then you got everybody else. Because like, for example, if you're in the military or you've been in the military, you know, you can get down, you know, then do 10 push-ups, you know, you can do some burpees, you know, you can run, you can knock somebody out, you can do a lot of shit. Can the average person do that? No, the average person can barely do one fucking push-up. All right? So it's the same fucking shit, you know what I mean? With all the things that I did in the kitchen. I know a lot of people couldn't do the things that I could do. That's great. That's awesome. It's okay. You know, whatever. Just like, you know, fucking, I was about to say Sammy Sosa. Like, bro, what a fucking, you know, old ass reference, you know? Give me like a new baseball player these days. Fucking A, bro. Jeez. Anyways, but you know what I mean? You know, it's like, you know, someone that can, like Michael Jordan, you know, or any one of these people that can, you know, be really good at what they do. You know, you look at them in fucking awe, and they know that they're good at what they do, and they know. So it's like, I don't know, man. To me, the celebrity aspect of that whole idea, it's always something that I kind of carried in my own head. You know, in the sense of like, yeah, I mean, I know I'm a badass. I know I can do this. I know I can do that. That's helped me push through a lot of shit in my life and go and be and do the things that I've done, and help other people do the same thing. It's about the mentality. You really got to have the mentality. And when people don't have that killer mentality, I fucking hate it. Look, when it comes to like basketball, for example, I love Michael Jordan. I love Kobe Bryant. I love people like that. Why? Because they got that killer mentality. I love Tom Brady. Someone like LeBron, I hate LeBron. I despise, because he doesn't have that killer mentality. That guy's soft as fuck. All right? Flopping all the time, complaining all the time. You know, come on. That's what I mean. That's the difference. Those are the people I gravitate to. Those are the people when I meet those people, oh, fucking love it. But most people are not like that. And that's the thing. So it's a lot deeper. So the whole thing is like, you know, being a celebrity, a Z-list celebrity, I don't enjoy it that much, because it's like I'm not celebrity enough where, let's say that I go to a fancy restaurant, it's like, oh, hey, Jose, how's it going? You know, boom, and everything's free. You know? You know, that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that kind of celebrityism, or like, oh, we're going to give you the VIP, or we're going to, no, it's just, hey, I fucking know you. Hey, let me bother you for shit. It's like, you know, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, that kind of celebrityism kind of fucking sucks, man. Think about it. I mean, right now, most of you guys, you know, celebrities, you're just regular people out there. But imagine if all of a sudden people knew you were a fucking accountant, and no matter where the fuck you went, you know, people are fucking asking you all the time, you know, about accounting tips. It's like, bro, come on, man. Leave me the fuck alone. I charge, you know, $50 an hour. The fuck, man. Anyways, so yeah. Anyway, shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to everyone out there leaving messages in the chat. Oh man, no more coffee. I've drank all my coffee. Oh yeah. How long? Oh my God, it's already been almost an hour. Wow. I cannot believe, man. See, look, I thought today it was going to be difficult for me to talk about this. I was like, man, how am I going to fill an hour talking about this? But man, I think I can talk about this for a lot longer than an hour. But you know, it's just interesting. You know, the whole celebrityism, and then a lot of people really love the attention. Like, I love attention. How about this? I love the attention I get online. I love the attention from far away. That's the thing. I love the attention from far away. It's great. It's wonderful. But man, the closer I get to it, ugh, not a fan. Not a fan that much. But anyways, Lose CQ. I don't know if I said it right. He says, I used to be a cook. It's the waiters making $100 an hour in tips and working half as hard that pissed me off about the job. Yeah, see, that never pissed me off because at any moment I could have very easily done that. And so to me, again, I just disliked people so much. And that it was just like, yeah, no, to me, it was like the cost of doing business, meaning it's like, yeah, the waiters, they enjoyed making more money, but they had to deal with a lot more shit. And especially in the fancy fucking restaurants, man. Because look, I used to be really friends with them because they knew I didn't give a fuck about what they made. You can look, listen, man, I'll fucking say it. We're past the statute of limitations. Look, I'm glad that they made a lot of fucking money because at the end of the day, they ended up giving that money to me because I ended up having to get the stuff for them, whatever stuff it was that they needed. All right. So I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And they were all broke as fuck too. Okay. I didn't want to hear it. All right. There's a few scenarios and a few cases where I knew a few of them, waiters, bartenders that made a lot of fucking money and they were able to use that to catapult them to the next level, real estate, whatever. But most of them, come on, man, they were fucking losers, junkies, fucking bums. And I was from the hood, so, me in the kitchen, with everybody else in their hood as fuck and especially in the kitchen. But come on, man, are you kidding me? Like, dude, I used to make my money. That was the only way I was able to survive. It was my side hustles. That I used to have with the fucking waiters, man. Are you fucking kidding me? So I knew that they had the fucking money. Great. Wonderful. Charge you more, motherfucker. Those a few times I've talked about it before where I've had, I had really, really good friends that were waiters, and then we would scam or we would fuck with the tourist, whatever, meaning, fucking tourists would be like, hey, can you get us an 8-ball? Like, yeah, we got you, and then obviously, boop, 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 we do our thing. And then for the price of, we got 2 for the price of 1 for them, 1 for us. Let's go. What? Hey, you guys know a good strip club? We do. We actually do. Let's go. You buying? We flying. So I was like, no. So, dude, a la verga. Yeah, that's right, bro. No, dude. I mean, come on, man. So I loved my life in the kitchen. Really, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, it wasn't until I moved to fucking Seattle when I started really making money. But then it was just boring compared to Miami. The after party hours, the afterlife, for the cooks, they were more into like the, I'm gonna go home and knit, or I'm gonna go home and do some heroin. I was like, come on, man, what the fuck kind of shit is this, bro? You know what I mean? I'm from fucking Miami, bro. We didn't fucking sleep for days. All right, you guys fucking have last call like at 2 a.m, bro. What the fuck is last call? I never even heard of last call. So yeah, dude, when I went to Seattle, it's like, bruh. And then obviously the West Coast. I mean, same shit. LA. Don't get me. Miami's Miami, bro. All right. I got spoiled. But yeah, no, I mean, that's why I lived that life, man, because it was like, I chose to live that life because it was fucking awesome. It was great. And look, this is why I choose to live the life that I live now. I'm not trying to be a fucking celebrity. I know that it's part of the thing and I'm going to have to fucking deal with it. But I mean, yeah, no. I deal with this shit in a very different way. And look, that's another thing too. When I make my videos, when I do the things that I do, that's why I have the freedom, to say what I want to say. Everybody's like, oh, Jose, I love you. You're so fucking authentic. Listen, I'm not trying to make friends. I'm not trying to fucking be popular. I'm not trying to be any of that shit. I'm trying to be me. Yeah, I want to get views. I want to make money, watch my fucking advertising, whatever, buy a fucking t-shirt, a shirt, I guess, I gotta make money. You gotta fucking feed the horse. But I mean, yeah, no, dude, I mean, I am not trying to be popular. I'm not trying to be your fucking friend. None of that shit, man. Come on, man. Like, yeah. Anyways, Philip. Oh, you changed your last name. Okay, Philip, the travel and camping guru. Jose, can you see by dawn's early light that the Gulf of America? Yes, right. What's up, brother? Jose, can you see? Yeah, I mean, look, I used to fucking play into all that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you know, people like, hey, Jose, your name's in the national anthem. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm more American than you, motherfucker. I'm more American than you, Bill and Tom. Jose, can you fucking see? Yes, I can, motherfucker. That's right. Salute. Bow down. Anyways, yeah, no, like but I had to look, I had to learn to, defend myself and and use comedy and use all this shit to deflect things because I grew up in a very rough neighborhood, rough upbringing, rough people. Again, Latinos, hood. I mean, the whole fucking thing. It's like, man, someone who's roasting you. If it wasn't your mom or your dad, they're roasting you in school. They're roasting you everywhere, bro. So if you're not, if you don't get used to the roasting and you don't roast yourself, and you're also roasting people, trolling people, whatever. Forget about it. You're never gonna fucking survive in my neighborhood. Where I grew up. You fucking kidding me? It's like people are like, man, yeah, I can't believe that person said that shit to you. It's like, bro, that's my mom said worse, bro. Like last week. No, not really. Me and my mom, we tight now. No, but seriously, come on, growing up and shit, like my mom, my dad, they said way worse to me, man. Come on, get the fuck out of here. The fuck is some fucking troll robot, online, gonna say to me that, come on, give me a break. Luz says, by the way, did I say your name right? Am I saying it right? Let me know. Luciquio. I'm guessing that you speak Spanish because I saw you said de la Vega. Whatever. Anyways, you say I started watching you because you moved to Merida with nothing but 1,500. Yeah. Sorry. I tried not to burp on. I know we're unleashed. All right, sorry. I started watching you because you moved to Mexico with nothing but 1,500 to my name, and you did and you did the same. Oh, awesome! Congrats, respect. From one motherfucker to another. Yeah, man, that's just not easy. I mean, come on. And especially if you don't really have much of an income and you just have to fucking figure it out. It can be done. I know it can be done. Are you fucking kidding me? And when I used to work in the kitchens, I used to fucking meet motherfuckers that used to do the same thing coming into the USA. They're like, fuck, how do you do that? So, I mean, doing it here's easy compared to, try making it to the USA with only 1,500. And you got to work illegally. And you got to this. So I was like, listen, come on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, I'm not even trying to pat myself on the back. It's crazy because when people tell me, man, I can't believe you fucking did it. Wow, that's awesome. They give me the pat on the back. To me, it's like, bro, I didn't have a fucking choice, man. What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did it. Sure, I can pat myself on the back, I guess now, whatever. But it's like, dude, you know how many fucking people do more or worse? You know what I'm saying? Like, have to go through a lot worse than that. But anyways, shout out to you, Luz. That's right, dog. That's right, brother. Or I don't know if you're a dude or a girl, whatever. Or non-binary or whatever the fuck you want to be. Anyways. But you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm down for that. Look, Philip, that motherfucker, he's been following me forever. But same thing, that guy's been all over the place, like on a fucking $500 budget, or whatever. Shout out to him too, But yeah, man. At the end of the day, like those are the people I like, I respect, I talk to, whatever. I talk to everybody. I respect and I love everybody. Everybody again, because it's like people that do what they do. I mean, I could never do that. But all I'm saying is like, come on, my people, like Tree. You seen Tree in my other videos when we go on adventures and we do shit like that. Come on, man. That motherfucker's a tank. You know what I mean? But again, he looks at me like I'm the crazy motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, you're the crazy motherfucker. You've done some crazy shit too. But again, we're just both humble about it, man. We just fucking going out there and living our life and doing our things. And yeah, we've done some crazy shit. Yeah, we got stories, but we got more to do. It ain't nothing. I don't know. It's like but it's cool, man, because it's like we're on kind of like the same page. We can have a beer together. We can share stories together. We can whatever. You know what I mean? Like. That kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, someone that's like a fucking accountant and never left like the accountant office or whatever. It's like, what kind of stories are we really going to share? How are we really going to see eye to eye, or really be able to, But again, a Tree, for example, I got many friends like that, okay? But just to give you an example, he's never been in a kitchen, but he was in the fucking war. He did multiple tours. He played football. He did a lot of shit, a lot of hard shit. Okay. He was a fucking Olympian at one point, you know, like what is it, like a fucking bodybuilder and shit. Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? So he's done a lot of crazy shit too, like a lot of insane shit. And it's again, we didn't share the same path, but it's like I can respect, and I know he has discipline. I know he has a lot of these fucking things, and you know the way he lives out here, he lives just like I fucking live. You know, so that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, you know. Anyways, but yeah, so. But I mean, like I said, I love everybody. I'm down with everybody. But you know, people that like, you know, that's the thing with the parasocial relationship thing that I was talking about is that, like, again, a lot of people in the audience, you know, they think that, you know, they have a friendship with me. They think that, you know, I have a friendship with them, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. But anyways, but they have a friendship with me, and they, you know, create this whole, you know, relationship in their head with me. And then when they meet me, you know, one thing is like, hey, I want to meet you. Hey, it's cool. Take a picture. You know, maybe even get a little weird and uncomfortable. That's one thing. But another thing is when people, not only when they meet me, but then all of a sudden they got this super developed relationship with me in their head. I never met them. They meet me for the first time, and all of a sudden it's like, I got to be their best friend all of a sudden. I never met this person, and all of a sudden it's like, I got to be in their life 24 hours a day. And I'm like, bro, who the fuck are you? Like stalkerish. I've had people even show up to my fucking house, man. Like stalker shit. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, and then they get upset, you know, when it's like, why are you here? The fuck, man? This is like a national landmark or something for you to come visit, you know, and take pictures and gawk at. I mean, and again, I'm Z-list celebrity here. People can really be out of pocket, man. That is one thing that I really learned about the mini celebrityism, you know, from the YouTube shit, is that, man, people can really be out of pocket. There are a lot of crazy people out there on multiple levels. Look, I'm crazy. I'm not gonna fucking, you know, we're all crazy in our own right. We know this. But man, so how people just some people out there have no social awareness, no self-awareness, no boundaries, no respect for others. It is fucking nuts, man. There's a lot of nice people I've met out there, that's for sure. Like I said, I want to keep shouting out the Narud because I just met him not too long ago. You know, really nice, really respectful, really cool, you know. Met him and the family, but holy crap, man, you know how many people that are not that at all. And it is kind of nuts. But I think, you know, more and more as time goes on, I mean, I'm still going to meet them. They're still going to come across, but it's like, this is why I'm always kind of like putting this out there, you know, to let people know you know, I'm not going to be friendly unless you're friendly, and be careful how you talk to me and what you ask of me. Cause you know, again, I know other celebrities might be nice and they might be, you know, a little bit more politically correct or other whatever. And no, listen, I'll fucking tell you to your face, bro. Like, what are you doing? Bro, I don't know who the fuck are you. Bro, the other day, I'll leave it at this. The other day, some really nice dude. I was, you know, waiting for Jose Novello. We were gonna, you know, go to shoot a video, and this guy just was walking down the street, and he's like, "Hey, Jose, how's it going? Oh my God, are you the guy from YouTube?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, yeah, how's it going?" And he just started going blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, you know, nice to meet you, man. You know, whatever. Who are you, man? I don't know who you are. I know you know me, but I don't know who you are. Like, oh, I'm sorry, my apologies. He just told me really quickly who he is. It's like, come on, man. At least, you know, just the pleasantries. That's it. I don't need to know your life story. You know, just like, hey, I'm Phil from fucking Philadelphia, and we just moved out here 6 months ago. Thank you for the videos. That's it. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know a full life story, but at least just like, fuck, man. You know, like, hi. You know? Anyways, and then that's it. You know, oh, thank you, hey, can I take a picture? Yeah, we took a picture, and that's it. It was fucking wonderful. It was great. But like I said, I'll fucking straight up just tell you. Look, how about this? The best way I can explain things is that I am like Larry David. I love Larry David. Okay? If you guys have never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, I highly suggest you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. But I'm like Larry motherfucking David. I'll fucking tell you, man. I'll fucking tell you to your face. And, you know, no hard feelings, no nothing. Just If I'm not going to tell you something, no one's going to tell you something. Might as well tell you. Whatever. So, yeah. So I'm like Larry David, you know, and a lot of people love Larry David. So, you know, and a lot of people hate Larry David, okay? But I'll leave it at that. It's more like that than anything else. So, all right, Lou says, I'm a guy. Okay, my name is Luz Siko. It is Thai. Oh, cool. I moved to Thailand 8 years ago with only 1,500 and no family to go back to, and I'm tired of visa runs, so I decided to make Mexico my new home. Oh, awesome, awesome. Congrats. Cool. Oh, there you go. Whoa, I think Philip too. I think Philip went out there. Where were you? Philip was out there, I think the Philippines. I don't know. Philip was out there in Asia, and then he came back. I don't know if he's in Asia now again or what, but he goes back and forth. Anyway, but shout out to both of you guys. Shout out to all of you guys. Really appreciate it. All right, we've already hit an hour. All right, so time to get out of here. But yeah, I mean, I'm like Larry David, man. I fucking love that guy, man. That guy is fucking hilarious. But I'm like that a lot. I'm like that. I'm like that, okay? I am that guy. I'm that guy. I'm the guy. All right? I'm the one that's going to say something. In fact, a lot of times they're like, where the fuck is Jose? You know what I mean? Like, you know, where's Larry? You know? I'm going to say something. I'm going to fucking say something. You know what I mean? Or, you know, if someone needs me to say something, I will say it. I will do it. I will. It's like, I don't give a fuck, man. You know, like, it's just, I don't know. Again, a lot of it just from my past life and background, which is like, you know, in fact, to me, it's just more astonishing that more people don't speak up, don't say what they really mean, aren't as authentic as I am, or Larry, or real. It's like, why not? They're so free and liberating. It really is. Because it's like, I mean, look at Kanye West and his crazy ass, all right? That's why I love him too. He's fucking nuts. Look at him wearing the fucking swastika, the whole fucking thing. I mean, come on. Give me a fucking break. But that guy is free as fuck, man. You can't get more free than that. So it's like, that's why I love these guys, because these guys are free. They don't give a fuck what you're going to say about them. You know, I already know you're going to fucking hate me. I already know you're going to talk shit about me. So I'm going to give you a reason to fucking hate me and talk shit about me, all right? You know, get the fuck out of here, man. You know, anyway. So yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. All right, I'll leave it at that. So, all right, guys, I think we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna wrap this bad boy up. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out and joining me today for this amazing, amazing live stream. It was a lot of fun today. A lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be. And but here we are. You know what I mean? Like we did another one. We got another one in the books. In fact, this is number 49. All right. Next week, we're going to do number 50. We're going to celebrate our 50th episode. So I got to figure out what I'm going to talk about next week. So Mary Jane Nelson says, am I ever going to do an update on the cannabis laws in Mexico video? Actually, I am. Since 420 is coming up, I'm going to do it. In fact, the Thursday, I literally was checking the schedule today. So, it's next month, right? Yeah. So yeah, we're March. Fuck. I can't believe. So next month, I'm literally okay, Mary Jane, you can expect that video, the live stream. You can expect that live stream to drop on April 17th. You know what? Maybe I'll drop a video. I don't know. Yeah, because I just noticed that if 420 is on Sunday. Okay, so I might do that. Okay, so I might drop a video. All right, or do a live show, or do both. The thing is, look, the reason I don't talk about that is because, man, I just bring it up and fucking YouTube ding 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 ding. You know, so it's like it's no bueno. It's not good. All right, when I talk about that shit, you know, YouTube is not a fan, you know, of anything that goes against Big Pharma. So, you know, it is what it is. But long story short, yes, expect that week to have 1 or 2. So at least a live stream, hopefully a live stream and a video, maybe just a video. We'll figure it out. But yes, I'm going to be doing an update 100% because things have kind of changed, but not much. But they've changed enough for me to make a video on the topic. Okay. Yes, they've relaxed the laws even more. Everything's more relaxed. But long story short, yes, I will be making an update. Okay. So expect that soon. a month from now. All right. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, shout out to, oh, there you are, Narud. Oh, you're working, I'm sure, or something. You're doing something out there. Shout out to you, brother. I know you say you listen to me. So, shout out to you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, man. Appreciate you and the visit. I appreciate meeting you and seeing you guys, the whole family, everybody, man. So, okay. Yeah, so like nothing's look, I'll keep it short. I mean, I'm gonna do a whole video on it, all right? But nothing has officially changed. I think I'm just gonna drop a video now, come to think of it. Nothing has officially changed. Everything has just become more relaxed. And in some areas, which I call it, you know, that's a little bit more developed than others. And they've already, you know, like I said, I've seen videos where people have already gotten their license and they can even fly with the weed. They can do a bunch of things with it, you know, and things like that. But again, look, long story short, as of now, you can't really do any of that stuff unless you're a citizen. So for all of us out there, none of us are fucking citizens. So, you know, we have a different kind of set of situation. But it's still, yeah, loosey-goosey compared to what it was years ago. All right? So, all right, guys. With all that being said, time to get out of here. I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I will see you guys here next Thursday. All right? Next week, we're going to do episode number 50. We've done more live streams than 50. But, you know, there were live streams like, you know, I'm live streaming a baseball game, opening season, whatever, you know, things like that I just took down because whatever. Because that's another thing, too. You get one experience when you're live, and you get another experience when you're listening. And so there's a big difference. So anyways, I forgot what I was saying. You know, oh yeah, we have more than 50, but next week is episode 50. We're going to figure out what we're going to talk about. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Time to get out of here. See you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful weekend and love you guys. Have a wonderful week. And oh, by the way, tonight is a moon eclipse or some shit like that. So look up at the sky tonight. We're going to have a blood moon. All right. So, all right. Love you guys. Peace out. Time to get out of here. Bye-bye. All right.
The hell is this shit?
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another live stream. Back to another live stream. Back
100 times?
to another live stream.
200 times?
Back.
500 times?
Who is Jose Arteaga?
Jose Arteaga is a YouTube content creator with several channels focusing on different themes.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Thing sucks.
His main channels include travel vlogs and lifestyle content. On his travel channel, Jose Arteaga Travels.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Additionally, he runs a cooking channel and engages in other personal projects that highlight his diverse interests and expertise. Projects and expertise. Projects and expertise. Project.